All right, you raging queers, welcome back. So, I've already watched a portion of this video. And when I was watching it, I wasn't really realizing what I was seeing. And then I just kind of figured to myself, let's make a video on this. Dude, this is this is kind of big in a weird way. So, we're going to go into it. There's a lot to say about this. This is what happens when industry insiders are losing, when they've been found out for the ruckus that they've been running this entire time of the gaming industry, of the economy, right? Through USAID. By the way, you can go check out AFK No Views, my gaming news channel. I have some other videos that will be coming out soon regarding it. And there's a lot of these types of videos that I'm going to be doing over on that channel now. So the ones where maybe sometimes I'll cover what Asmon's talking about. But regardless, I've already addressed some of the USAID stuff. This whole fiasco being ran within American economics, where the government has been literally funding propaganda, millions of dollars being funneled to all kinds of, trans and all kinds of liberal institutions, including Politico being given, as I remember, what was it? They said, was it 8 billion or 8 million sent to Politico? I don't know. I need to double check. I think it was million. So anyways, it doesn't matter. Tons of money from the government, taxpayer dollars. So you work and then we fund, through us and our labor, we get to fund activists like these, propagandists like these. So anyways, we're going to be going into it here. You got to love it. You got to love it. But I'm just amazed, and you're hearing these guys, Greg Miller, who's a complete freaking shill. I remember that guy from a while back. I never liked him. He never had good charisma or anything. And as I remember, I think he's a part of God's chosen people. Now, that's going to matter a whole lot more later. I forget if he is a part of, I think I heard someone say that he's a part of God's chosen people. There's a lot of people in higher up positions of many industries who are a part of God's chosen people. I wonder why. Anyways, so I'm covering this kind of stuff on the AFK No Views channel. You can find it pretty easily if you go to the home section of this channel. But anyways, there's a lot more videos I'm going to be coming out with covering the USAID nonsense. But this is all funded propaganda. Remember that the Democrat government has been funding institutions like Progressive Victory to push certain people like, and I will name drop here, Destiny, that guy who a lot of right-wingers were debating. And, I don't really like just mentioning these people, but let's just be honest. People like this, they were getting a lot of gas, and a lot of right-wingers were talking about people like this. And people would say that he was a genius, like, oh, Destiny's such a good debater. No, just simply no. He runs a freaking circus and pony show with all of his debate tactics. It's all logical fallacy. And what he does is that if you buy into his logical fallacies and you play ball with him, then it seems like he's a genius. But yeah, when someone's running circles around you, avoiding a real conversation, and they get on by through the conversation by running in a circle around you, by avoiding the conversation and engaging in logical fallacy, then they seem like a genius because they're winning at the conversation according to a leftist, which is what? Have an illegitimate conversation. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, but Progressive Victory is an ESG institution that was pushing guys like Destiny and the people associated to him. And we have many other organizations. I mean, Diageo, GARM, they were a part of this, pushing all of the biggest advertisers on the YouTube platform and many other platforms as well. Social media. There are you have no idea how widespread this ESG nonsense is and was. Right now, it's being investigated. Right now, we have a lot of money that's being highlighted. Hey, you want to know, by the way? Anita Sarkeesian, this chick that became a consultant for a lot of games. I don't know what company she's a part of. I don't think it's Sweet Baby Inc., but she has consulted a couple of games that came out recently that were super woke, especially within the last year. I think there was a couple outside of that. But, Feminist Frequency, when she came out about 10 to 15 years ago, attacking sexy, dude, I said this many times throughout the course of this channel's history, okay? I said that 10, 15, 20 years ago, everyone was in competition. Literally, this is in no way hyperbole. It's every game. Ubisoft was even doing it with certain games. You can think about so many franchises and you're like, what? Like when I say everyone was in competition for the sexiest women of gaming awards back then, everyone was competing. Everybody. You can think of so many games, just random games, and with sexy women everywhere. It's only until Obama's second term that we started having ESG pushed into everything. That's where our movies, television shows, and gaming, suddenly no sexy women, they were being filtered out. We had a lot of proto-woke games like Overwatch, like Dragon Age Inquisition, many other games. We used to get sexy women everywhere. They were being phased out, and then no sexy women. Now it's a bunch of busted up, used, washed up Karens everywhere. We got that game Returnal, like Unknown 9. I mean, we can go down a long list of freaking girl boss ESG games. Okay. We had this happen again and again and again. Then women like Deborah Wilson becomes a staple in how many games now? A girl boss in Diablo 4, in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in Jedi Survivor. We can go down a very long list. The point of all of this is that this has all been funded by the Democrat government as propaganda. And it's been taken from you, the taxpayer. And this has been done on so many levels, so many scales. And again, Kotaku, funded by who? USAID. Many other of these gaming journalist, air quotes, institutions or organizations, whatever, they were all being funded. They were all losing subscriptions. They were all failing the gaming industry. But guess what? They had daddy government's money, which means what? You work your job, you get taxed. It gets taken from you, your own money. By the way, there's a bunch of Medicare being funded for in the EU by the American government. There's so much money that you never got to see the time and light of day. It was being stolen from you, your own money. It was being given to these activists who trash on you and tell you that there's something wrong with beautiful women. You have to love fat or just unattractive or old women instead. All this nonsense propaganda, which has worked on some, maybe many, who knows? But anyways, it's worked on people, right? That's why we have shills now today. A lot of retards running around being like, oh, what? You don't think this super busted up chick isn't hot? What's wrong with you? And that's happened with how many things I've covered now on this channel. Happened with the Until Dawn movie trailer, where this random chick named Odessa, every guy and his freaking retard brother is jerking off about her. And it's like, dude, Jessica Alba, Megan Fox, Sofia Vergara, Salma Hayek, Eva Green, there's all kinds of women that were just hot in Hollywood or just passable. Now we got women who are average or slightly above average. Let's face it, they're not. Below average and average women. Now today, these retards want you to think that women who are not the hottest of the hot, they want you to think they're the hottest of the hot. This is the propaganda that's been funded by the US government, led by the Democrats. It's been happening for a long time now. We've had things like ESG running amok, and now, of course, it's finally being investigated in Trump's second term. And now we're seeing all the problems, all the hens coming to roost, or whatever the frick, the roosters and the retard, the gay, homosexual, transitioning chickens and whatever. So It's all coming to roost right now. This freaking nonsense. We're seeing it for what it is. And now we've got Greg Miller and some retard biatch. Dude, this is freaking horrible. This is so cringe. Here we go.
Board hosts say Elon and Trump to resounding applause and cheers. Okay, what's this?
Right now, it's super popular. The hate on Elon, hate on Trump. Two men that are actually helping the country. Now, Elon, I've had my problems with him in the past, and I still have my problems with him, and I don't really trust him. But at least he's uncovering this nonsense in the people that he's hiring through Doge, at least helming a lot of this, and then the dudes working on this. They're doing good work, okay? At least there's that. But do not forget, Elon wants to replace Americans with Indians. And listen, we do not want America to look like India. Let's be very clear about that.
My favorite games, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred is...
Well, you know this guy's retarded.
Diablo was absolute trash. You can see my review on it. Screw that game. Screw that game. Screw that game.
Thank you, Rod.
Screw that game.
Why is it that we can meme on Jeb Bush for saying please clap, but get your hands together because not enough people were clapping isn't the same thing?
Because when a right-winger does anything, it's cringe, it's lame, and we all need to shame it. When a leftist does it, it's really trendy, and obviously they're in on the culture, and everyone needs to worship whatever a leftist thinks and does. And this is literally how the collective thinks. This is literally how they believe. It's only when they start making themselves look bad, then they start saying, oh, that's cringe. Oh, that's not us. That doesn't represent us. No, if you're a leftist, you're a raging retard. And this is why no one likes you. You smell, you look ugly. This is why you don't like beautiful women, because you don't know what an attractive woman looks like. You look at your mother since birth and you wanted to literally end yourself in the womb.
Thing.
That is a game that takes real skill.
Does. Yeah, and I'm not trying to flatter everyone here, but if I know one thing about this audience is that none of you had to pay someone to play Diablo for you.
Oh, wow, big deal. Wow, Elon Musk apparently doesn't actually play the games that he says he plays. Bro, I don't know. Like, listen, I don't know what the frick a day in the life of Elon Musk looks like, because he's had all these run-ins with court cases, having to do with like Twitter or whatever. Purchasing Twitter. And then there was a bunch of stuff surrounding that. And, he said he would never kill himself because there was a bunch of people upset when he purchased Twitter. And then he's banging random chicks who pretend to be right-wing, like Ashley St. Clair, but there's a bunch of other women. He bangs women who are absolutely nut jobs, women who are basically average, but like, I guess if they put on a lot of makeup, they might seem like 10 out of 10s to a dude that looks like Elon Musk. So whatever. He's running around banging random women, going on a bunch of podcasts, running all these companies, hiring people to run companies. Anyways, Elon I don't know what he does on a day-to-day basis. I mean, there's so many companies that people don't really hear about that often. Like, apparently Elon was working on a mobile home project where literally on site, you just randomly construct a home that I think you can pack up and whatever. Like, it's these weird, these blueprint homes. I forget what they're called now, but he was going to start that company. I don't know what happened with it. Anyways, I mean, he's just always doing all this random stuff, right? And I mean, okay, so wow, big deal. He said he was actually playing a game and then he wasn't. Okay, I don't know what that was about. I don't know why Elon was sitting there saying I'm the best player in the world of these video games. I don't know why. It does seem like he lied about some of that. Who knows how much of it he lied about? But it's like, why are you lying about this? I don't know. Elon is so weird. So, and now we're having controversies just about him impregnating random women. I mean, at this point, I would not be surprised if he just starts impregnating more women. Let's just face it. Anyways, this is weird.
It's hard to
all of it's
your
weird.
Own characters when you're dismantling democracy.
Liberals saying dismantling democracy when literally you are the party of censorship, the party of propaganda, the party of literally robbing from the American people to give it to trans freaking novels in random countries, trans this, trans that, all these useless social programs that does no one in American society or any society, because it's sent to other foreign countries. Afghanistan got $15 million for condoms. Gee, I wonder why. Anyways, for condoms from the US government. How much taxpayer money has to be thrown around? Oh, I'm sorry. That whole thing about Anita Sarkeesian, by the way, $500,000, sorry, $550,000+ was given to her by some mystery institution. No one knows. Obviously, it all came to light after all this USAID nonsense. So obviously the US government funded Anita Sarkeesian to push feminist frequency, that YouTube channel that she did, pushing against hot, sexy women, pushing that propaganda onto you. There's so many players in all of this, so many people that were propped up by a propaganda government pushing propaganda actors. And by the way, do you think that Greg Miller is or is not a part of that propaganda? The answer is yes. He is a part of the propaganda. So of course a retard like him says that Elon is dismantling democracy. No, Greg, he just wants to replace you with an Indian. That's what Elon's doing. He's not dismantling anything. If you want to look at those who weaponize the legal system and those who destroy the actual governmental infrastructure of America, it's the Democrats. The Democrats are literally against America. The fact that you say dismantling democracy and not a republic shows the propaganda and censorship party that you truly are.
I feel like we're in good company here, but just in case for the people online.
Yeah, you and a bunch of bigots. By the way, bigot is not a charged political term that the left hijacked. It's actually a term that was used historically for, it was just simple classism and also just behavioral, let's just say behaviorism, okay? These are bigots right here. These are people that are not worthy of their position, speaking down to you as if you're a plebeian, as they rob you, literally rob you, pillage you. And these are high-class criminals. And then they have the gall to act like they're better than you. No, you are a bunch of activists who rob, air quotes, legally from the American people. Shut up, you're a bigot, an actual bigot, the actual term for it. Not what the leftists do to destroy these terms so that then when people say bigot, we don't know what it means. No, you're a bunch of freaking clowns. Go screw yourself.
I mean, I guess this doesn't really matter, right? But like, if it did matter, he bought things in Diablo 4, but it seemed like...
All I'm saying is, man, some people need a public execution. There's a reason why it was done in history. Also, witchcraft is a real thing that women actually engage with all throughout history. Those Salem witch trials, there was good reason for that too.
He played his own character in Diablo.
Again, who cares whether or not he played his own character? Elon's doing so much random stuff. Again, this Ashley chick that he freaking apparently knocked up, or she's saying that he did. I guess he did. Anyways, she's a fake conservative that was literally posting about wanting to get ran through by a BBC from some guy named Tyrone. Because again, when we talk about, I've mentioned this so many times, this freaking propaganda about black dudes being bigger than white dudes, and then how white women need to get with the black dudes. These freaking leftists, they literally side with this race mixing piece of filth propaganda nonsense where you're supposed to hate on just being white. You are supposed to hate your whiteness if you're white. And then, or just whatever, just hate white civilization, hate everything that's white. White women, though, are supposed to get with every minority, brown or black, imaginable. And it's so funny how much minorities love white women. But the more that they mate with white women, the less white women exist going forward for the next generations. This is disgusting. This is vile. This is filth. And these pieces of filth, they sit there and they will complain about racism as they sit there and say, we hate white men. We want to replace the white people and ultimately take the white women and inseminate them with our crappy genes. And why do we know that they're crappy genes? No one wants to live in your countries. You don't even like your own women. Screw you. Get the frick out.
Before. Whereas in PoE, he
deportations for everyone.
Bought things in PoE,
including Greg Miller. Screw you. Who is one of God's chosen people.
Play his own character.
And if you know anything about that, okay, well, Yeah, I have to bite my tongue here. So anyways, okay, just socialism, feminism, it has an interesting history. That's all we have to say. All this Marxism, the race mixing stuff, by the way. Oh, that's interesting. There's someone with the last name Cohen, and they specifically wanted blacks to be pushed in through entertainment, through music, through specifically entertainment on music and sports. They wanted the blacks to be pushed in those regions and to make white women, because of the status of the blacks, to mate with these black men so that, right, race mixing and watering down white people, that whole thing, that was a part of their plan. These specific people who have a lot of power, for some reason they have a lot of power. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. And they push a lot of this propaganda, by the way, through all the institutions that we know about. Anyways, we could go on about that one.
Proof? Well, this is what the evidence
Dude, the corruption runs so deep.
is showing.
If you get mad at that joke, it's Greg Miller. Greg.
This is such a, bro, their sense of humor is so terrible, and they're trying to lean into it in the worst way possible.
If you get
This
mad
is
at that
terrible.
joke, it's Greg Miller.
They're so out of touch.
Miller. Fuck Elon Musk and fuck Donald Trump.
They're making the country better for the rest of Americans that you're screwing over. How about F you? And that's, I don't want to curse here, but like, and I haven't, like in the past, I've said F you about certain people and certain things, including Elon, I believe, but screw you. People need to say F these two people. No, not F Elon Musk and Trump when they're actually trying to do work that help the American people. Screw you. What do you do? What do you do, Greg and random bimbo? What the frick are you doing for the country? Screw yourselves. Literally public execution. There's a reason it was done throughout history. And also the Salem witch trials. I'm pretty sure this chick does some witchcraft herself.
Man. Okay, let's watch.
And on top of that, GameStop shut down Game Informer.
And that one really hurt. I can't believe that. Of course,
yeah, I mean, you have a bogus job. You should be fired. What the frick?
Game Informer was the best part of GameStop.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, screw you. Never liked you. You sucked. Man, that was a different world though back then. That's when, Rooster Teeth was doing a lot of stuff back then. And then they, obviously, they went ESG as well.
I'm going to watch this and just see what I want to watch the entire thing because I actually think the entire thing is going to be even more cringe than just that clip.
Okay. Sit down.
Gosh.
Man.
Thank you.
It's so awkward, man. Him doing that is so awkward, trying to command the room, and then the way that she's behaving, she's like trying to play along with it. Bro, I cannot stand these award shows where they try to have these unbearable people be these personalities together. They're so unfunny, unlikable. They're unintelligent. This chick has no business being here. She's a washed up 4. And there are simps, by the way, in here, sitting there being like, oh, she's so hot, bro. This is the problem with bringing in a bunch of minorities to America, is that now we think that this is super attractive. We make it to where you're bringing in all these people, they're not attractive. So then we reform this idea of what is attractive. No, there's a bunch of women that were actual 6s out of 10s, which just means above average. A chick like Rooster Teeth at one point, Meg Turney, if you remember that chick, she had breast size. Yeah, she didn't have an attractive face. She really wasn't that hot. But it was like for just a split moment in history, she was kind of attractive. If you want to say she was a 6 out of 10, kind of, because of makeup, but really she was a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Her breasts were really doing all of her service. Let's just face it, bro. Okay? And there are other chicks next to Meg Turney, okay? They were not attractive either. But this is the problem, is that what a 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 was 10, 15 years ago. Now, this This is the problem with bringing in a bunch of minorities into a country, is that, listen, their women are not that attractive. And then they sit there and say, this is super hot, bro. Oh my God. No, Jessica Alba, Megan Fox. These are women who are above average. Maybe 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Jessica Alba, as far as I'm concerned, 9. Well, okay, no, if she had larger breast size, 9 out of 10. She's an 8 out of 10 solid, okay? So, but I'm still down bad for her. Anyways, moving on. But, it's like, and then there's some other women, actual 9 out of 10. I've covered some of them on the channel. So anyways, Jessica Lucas, what's up? Call me. She's actually an 8 out of 10 or something. There's actual hot women out there, bro. But they keep on pushing these freaking chicks onto us. And then you have these freaking simps that they don't actually know what an attractive woman is. By the way, Greg makes a freaking retard comment later here. Because simps, they sit there, and because you say that women like her are not that attractive, they're like, what, have you never seen a woman before? No, we just actually know what attractive women are. Greg, you don't know what an attractive woman is because you deify ugly women or just washed up women. This chick's not hot. By the way, this chick, she got her hair done, and her hair is not impressive. There's women with better hair. Her face, her BMI is a little bit extra. You can tell, by the way, that she's with this dress, there's something tightening her waist. Her waist is not this curvaceous, air quotes on that. We can show here. Nope, you can see where it's being tightened there. Yeah, she's a little bit chubby, brah. Okay, she's got extra body fat. Look at her face. That is not an attractive face. Those glasses are there to cover up some of just how unattractive she is. And again, all this makeup on her face, bro, this chick is literally a 4 or a 3, maybe on a good day, 5. And then you got dudes who are going to be later in this video simping over this chick. No, this is a washed up 4. And you got God, there's actual attractive women. Most of them are white out there, bro. This is not it. Love of God. And she has to lean in on this keyhole cleavage. Anyways.
Thank
Pathetic.
you. I didn't want to yell, but you made me. Now this is how the night will be run. You will listen to us and only us.
Oh gosh, man. What I think it is that either they've banged, because sometimes these presenters give off this vibe. You can tell. I think he banged her. I think they're banging. Okay, and it's just because they're in bed with each other. Industry wise, they're in bed with each other. Maybe she wants a job so bad she's banging him. Something's going on. I don't know, but obviously they're banging to some degree. That's why he's behaving. You never see a dude behave this stupid over aggrandizing his ego unless he's with a chick that makes him feel like he's on top of the world, or he's with a chick that he's trying to impress. It's one of these things, okay? But obviously he either wants to bang her or they've banged. She's giving off weird vibes where she's like, I'm kind of into him, but also kind of like, now he's acting weird. I think they've banged. I'm pretty sure they've banged.
Stella, take it away.
Never had this much power before, but
There you go. And then she says that, I think they're banging and they're behaving weird. They're both having an ego trip. I think she kind of knows that they're looking bad, but she's kind of playing along with it. This is so bad so far, dude. These freaking, the two of them. This is leftists in a freaking nutshell right
and
here.
Only us. You made me. Now this is how the night will be run.
The
You will
forced
listen to us
charisma.
and only us.
Who is he trying to play off as, though? But if you do want a chick to fall for you, you do play up your freaking ego like this, by the way. You do that. But, I mean, some women, it won't work. But for not for cuck. God, man, there's so many cuck men out there. They just don't understand how women think. But, and I'm just going to say that, moving on from that point. But, there are dudes who literally don't understand how women think. But anyways, there's certain demographics of women. We're not going to get into it. Anyways, there's a certain type of chick that likes a dude behaving like this. And on its surface, there's nothing wrong with a dude playing up his ego. Obviously, though, if you don't know what you're doing, you're playing with fire. And you're going to make yourself look like a freaking tool. Now, she might still be into him, even though he's being a freaking clown. And I think she's caught up in his frame with all this, but this is this clown show. This is clown worlds right here, and this is liberalism in a nutshell. I mean, and there's other retarded liberals, and they behave slightly differently. But anyways, man.
Stella, take it away.
Never had this much power before, but welcome to the 2025 Dice.
Male feminist, such a male feminist, so pathetic.
I'm Stella Chung.
I'm Greg Miller.
Man, either he wants her to feel big for being next to him, or God, man, my guess is they've banged, but he really wants to bang again. That's what I think is going on here. And obviously, like, this kind of clothing by a woman is advertising. So she's not really like down bad about him. She may have had sex once, but then she was like, I don't know, he's a nice guy, air quotes, male feminist. But there's better dudes on the market in my head, which she's a freaking washed up 4 or 3, so whatever. Honestly, you can't do better than Greg, so you might as well settle down. But regardless, but she's sitting there, she's dressing like this to get other dudes out there to be like, dang, she's so hot, I really want to get with her. There's a whole story behind what's going on here. If you're not stupid, you know that there's a whole story going on. And he wants to get banged again. We haven't even gotten to the worst parts yet. But this is the preamble. And then, they're trashing on the industry, and then they show the camera of all these people, and man, some of these people are washed up.
Greg, I think we're the last people left with jobs in games media.
That is correct. It is,
Yeah, because it was all propaganda. You people deserve to lose your jobs because you don't do your jobs. You peddle propaganda.
We'll do our best to correct that. Don't worry.
very bleak out there, but how are you doing with that?
I'm actually doing okay. It was a little bit of a long January, but it feels like the first time I moved out of my parents' house, and it's good to feel independence.
This is just absolutely embarrassing. Like, you're playing up that you're a loser, that you're unhireable or whatever, and or it's not that. I don't know what she's playing. We know that these two do not deserve their jobs, and then they're playing up, well, I'm getting work here and blah blah. You should just be deported.
100%. If you wanted to, Stella, now that you're a free agent and you're out there, you could come work with us at Kinda Funny.
I mean this with my whole heart.
He wants to have sex with her so bad.
Kinda Funny.
Bro, listen. We've all had cringe. I've had cringe. I've done improv. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really been that bad at improv in the past, but regardless, I mean, improv, you will have cringe moments and you will fail, and it will come down like a crashing comet, and you will be like, what the frick? That was terrible. And there's some stuff that I was doing the preparation for the improv, and I was glad I never did it because it was about to be really bad. I mean, it was kind of intentionally cringe, but it's kind of a memory where it's like, did I really want to do that cringe thing? I don't think so. The point is, though, they're this deep in their freaking careers, both of them, because I don't know. This chick's washed up. I don't know what she's done. I don't care. They're in no place. Why are they doing this cringe, unfunny? Like, it's okay to be cringe if you do everything in your power to actually be funny and you have some ability to be funny. But like, these two are so unlikable. And it's just, you're leftists. You spent your whole life being politically correct. You don't have the funny in you. There's no part of it within your soul. And then you're sitting here and you're doing this like weird, we're going to talk to each other skit on stage. This is cringe to the highest level, and there is no funny to be found within this cringe.
It's kind of funny.
Okay, so by the way, Asmon's talking about how he says that Greg says he works at Kind of Funny. And then Asmon's like, it's kind of funny that he said that because he's not actually funny. But it's like, we have to buy into the premise of what Asmon is saying to buy into why Asmon's idea of this joke is funny. So I don't know. By the way, brush your teeth.
I am not that desperate.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Oh man, and this is feminism right here, where women, even him being a male feminist, and they're doing a skit, and she sits there and she says she's not that desperate to get a job with Greg at Kind of Funny. Man, how disrespectful women are, blatantly, of men, and we popularize this in our media. Oh wow, yeah, a man's so beneath a woman, right? And this is so unheard of. A couple of generations back, women knew not to be disrespectful towards men in general like this. And now this is normalized. This is disgusting. This feminist behavior is absolute filth. Deportation immediately.
I am not that desperate.
Make me dictator. Make me dictator. I will be the scourge of these effing leftists.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Just look at that. Why are we laughing about this? Why is this something that anyone would cheer? This is disgusting. And he's a male feminist. He's just playing along with the humiliation ritual. You're a freaking cock, Greg. You suck. And you literally, a couple of seconds ago, oh my gosh, a couple of seconds ago, he says, F Trump and F Elon. And then she does this to him. Even though it's a skit, she's smiling. That's a real smile. She meant it. There's something real there. It's not just a skit. There is a story behind what's going on here. There's so much more going on. This is not just, oh, let's be funny and funs. No, they mean it.
All right, next year when you're still unemployed, we'll see what's...
Yeah, she's going to, she needs to be unemployed and quite frankly, never hired again. Activists like you need to be driven out of the economy.
All right.
Just like how you drove everyone that wasn't an activist out of the economy. Through, by the way, Obama's second term, all that propaganda. Screw these people.
No, it's not going to be 3 hours of this. It's just a very short segment where they're speaking. It's like 10 minutes.
Well, before we get
If you
started,
guys really thought that I was going to make you sit through 3 hours of this dog shit, you're absolutely out of your mind. Even
no
IGN
way.
couldn't make people do it.
Yeah, no way.
I wanted to ask everyone here to give yourselves a round of applause.
For what?
Yeah, clap yourselves for what?
If you are in this room right now, that means you were responsible for creating some of our newest, best games of all time.
Oh,
No, these are the
okay.
worst
Now
games
everything
we've
makes
ever
sense.
seen.
So a lot of the people
Blatant
that are
lie.
here are basically just game developers, and this is an industry event where they get together and give each other awards.
Circle
Okay.
jerk, yeah.
Well, now, all right. So basically, they set up a circle jerk event for themselves so they can give each other awards for the games that are popular
Self-aggrandizing.
in the corporate world, but nobody actually gives a shit about.
Yes.
Okay, great. It's literally a circle. Yeah, great. This is what a subreddit
It's basically an ESG event. That's really what it is.
looks like in real life.
It's a bunch of elitists coming together
Yeah,
and saying,
or-
oh, look, wow, we did such a great job with our propaganda. Gee, hey, do you have contacts with the U.S. government? Yes, I do. Okay, do you have money from the U.S. government available? Yes, I do. Oh, okay. By the way, do not, there's so many institutions, by the way. Dude, there's one called Diverting Hate. There's all kinds of these ESG companies. By the way, there's a bunch of taxpayer money, billions in dollars right now, sitting cold money unused right now, intended for the purpose of these institutions. Right now, they're investigating it. There's so much money out there, taxpayer dollars just being funneled for propaganda, blatant propaganda, and for all these fake jobs. These people sit there and they trash on you as they take your money and run with it and then trash you some more and propagandize you some more and work with these elitist bigots in these networking events. Talking about, oh, you know, do you have some money? Do you have some money? Well, I could fund your project here and there and all these, screw you people, screw you.
You may have just gotten lost in the casino and felt like you walked into a fancy Doctor Who convention.
Yes, if you are in fact a normal person, these are people who make video games. And no, none of us can get your nephew free V-Bucks.
You know what? Don't you love how right now the left, they keep on talking about whacking people. They keep on talking, oh, these people need to get whacked. These people need to get whacked. These people need to get whacked. You want to know something? These are the actual people, a part of an entire political party robbing from you. That's interesting. These people actually committed great crimes against their fellow citizen. Or, some of these people are foreigners, but anyways. Because then there's also, by the way, oh gosh, this also came out that for Social Security, there are more people. So America has about the population of kind of largely 333 million people. Okay. There are, for Social Security numbers, greater than 333 American citizens that the government was funding for healthcare, whatever else. Now, what do you think that means? Yes, the US government to people overseas, and I don't know exactly how that was working. That's a whole other thing. They were giving money for Social Security to people overseas. I don't know how many, obviously some number, but also to foreigners who came into America. They were granting Social Security benefits, funding it to illegal immigrants. This is a new thing that came out recently. I think actually today. I heard of it today. This is insane, man. The amount of money being thrown to everyone that isn't an American citizen. This is insane. Again, you have 333 million American citizens, and you have more Social Security numbers than that. And yes, they were using, I don't know how many. I mean, it wasn't all of them, but some of them, I believe, were dead people's Social Security numbers. Dude, oh, you don't think they did that, by the way, for voting in 2020? Uh-huh. Oh, man. This runs deep. The level of corruption. But it's so funny. The party of actual legitimate political corruption, they're calling for so many people to get whacked. But it's so funny. Because right now, I don't hear a lot of people talking about whacking any of these people, a part of this party of political corruption. Literally robbing from you, literally destituting you. So interesting that no one wants to blatantly call for the whacking off of these people. Interesting.
These are people who make video games, and no.
And then these people act like they're the adults in the room. Deport all of them. Literally, they love Africa, for instance, Mexico, and they love freaking India so much. Throw them into these countries. Grab liberals and deport them to the countries they love so much. They love the blacks and the browns so much. By the way, that Ashley St. Clair chick, by the way, she wants to get ran through by black men. That's interesting. Anyways, they love it so much. Go, be a part of your paragons. You love the blacks and the browns so much. Go, join them. Oh man, that gets me thinking. Dude, ESG, by the way, has been throwing your money towards Africa to build up black-owned businesses, and that's their whole pitch about it, by the way. I forget, I think it was Diageo doing it. Yeah, I believe it was Diageo. They were funding black-owned businesses to be built up in Africa. Meanwhile, wouldn't it be nice that American citizens got their own money to build up their own businesses? Oh no, the blacks in some other country, they need to build up businesses. Nonsense.
None of us can get your nephew free V-Bucks.
No.
And also they were doing it for diverse women in Europe as well. Don't forget that. They were also doing that.
If this is
Jeez Louise, man. ESG is so vile and insidious. And you had liberals who literally would make arguments for taxation and saying it wasn't theft. Oh, ooh.
first time at the DICE Awards, let us explain it to you.
Of course, it is basically the same as
Screw these people.
who make
Screw
video
these
games.
people.
And no, none of us can get your nephew free V-Bucks.
No.
Not
If
funny.
this is your first time at the DICE Awards, let us explain it to you.
Of course, it is basically
Why would they give these people, their nephew, free V-Bucks? These people already have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their pockets from the government. That It's so, that joke is insulting. Everything is insulting about this.
The same as the Game Awards, except instead of Muppets like Statler and Waldorf, we have hundreds of disgruntled white guys.
And there we go, trashing on white men, because for some reason trashing on the very race of people that founded this country is supposed to be haha funny, and also, oh wow, it's so in right now. Let's just be self-hating on ourselves as white people. If you're white, Greg's not white. He's God's chosen people. But then let's just freaking sit here and just trash on white people, because how dare you have an economical future? How dare you have a life? How dare you do well for yourself in your own country? You should be replaced by the blacks, the browns. We should immigrate all these people into your country, replace you with all of them, and then allow them to mix with your women. Disgusting filth. Oh, they're all laughing to the freaking propaganda nonsense. Golly, these people are so freaking filthy and disgusting.
This is the guy that runs the place called Kinda Funny. Oh man, we're gonna have to sit there. Yep, there we go.
Man, these liberals are just such vile pieces of filth.
Just in case, before anyone online gets mad, please note that it was Greg Miller that made that joke. So that's GREGMIL.
Why does she keep on redirecting to it? Is that supposed to be a joke? And like, yeah, okay, listen, just call up ICE, do the ICE raid, deport him to what? He hates white people. All right, so let's deport freaking Greg to freaking Africa. He wants to live amongst his people.
They got it set. Don't worry about it. They're well aware of me online. Of course, we know you're excited for the awards part of our awards show.
No one cares about you, bro, but you should go live amongst your people in Africa or Mexico, whichever one you like more.
So that's why the producers have asked us to keep the show tight this year.
And they mean as short as possible.
Ooh, kind of like the amount of time Concord existed.
I don't know what that is.
And the show
Whatever.
is over. We'll see you next year.
Of course, the room gets offended by it. These freaking executives literally fund and back the social, and economical propaganda games that nobody wants. And then they're the one. That just shows you the room. These guys are offended. They're insulted that Concord, which, I wonder if that was funded by taxpayer dollars, that game failed. They made a joke about that failing. And that was such a low blow. That's so easy to make that joke. God, I hate these people so much.
It was a sad thing, but trust me, if you thought that was the worst joke of the night, strap in.
Having to tell the audience to strap in for bad jokes, it's just, come on, man.
I have a feeling that that's the first thing that is kind of funny, because I can guarantee you that he will have jokes that are even worse than that. I can totally expect that. I believe you.
Yeah, I am honestly a little in awe of this audience. There are some very powerful executives in the game industry here tonight.
And to all of you,
Yeah, who do not deserve their jobs and who probably have a very deep allegiance with God's chosen people, because it happens to be that way for almost everything. And when I say almost everything, I mean government, I mean music, I mean Hollywood, gaming industry. By the way, gaming industry, somehow, some way, some reason, I don't know how. It just happens in every industry. They always, and then, we could even go into other industries. They're there too. Infrastructure. I don't know about health insurance right now. I don't know. There's just so many industries that they have their hands in, and they make up a very small percentage of the population. How strange. How strange. Oh, man.
let me be the first to say.
I think that it's very illuminating, the problem with video games when you have a event here for the industry where there's a bunch of gaming executives at, and it's just a nonstop barrage of weird social messaging,
Yes.
political posturing,
Yes.
virtue signaling,
Yes.
and reverse quote, basically just racism.
Yes.
Yeah, I really think that this is the kind of thing that you watch and you're like, every one of my bad opinions is actually accurate and I was right.
Yes. I don't know with his opinions, but whatever that they try to tell you that you're wrong for or wrong in, it turns out you were you stand vindicated. It's like, oh, like I was literally correct. You know, and these are the same people that tell you that conspiracy theories are completely made up, even though it's absolutely correct. And every time it's proven correct, the left, they just ignore it. Like Bohemian Grove. Oh, doesn't exist. It's not real. And then, we can go down. Epstein Island, by the way, the whole thing about pedophile islands. This is something that was mentioned before by certain people, and then it turns out to be true. Oh gosh, bro. In the left, they have the gall to sit there and still say the term conspiracy theory. They always end up being proven correct. So you tried to deflect, conspiracy theorists. Oh, you mean the people that are going to be proven correct in the next couple of months? Go bone yourself.
It is. I wonder if they're going to give Dragon Age Veilguard an award.
Stop firing people.
I mean, these are, no. You know what? This is the best way to put it. Conspiracy theorists are simply oracles of our time. That's it. That's it. What the F? No, thank you. Nah. Why would you put yourself in an ad? No.
Yeah?
Absolutely not.
I know, we would love to keep it positive here, but you're making it really hard.
Like nightmare.
And please go back to Africa.
I can think of 2 people that probably will be fired. I've got a pretty good idea of 2 people that are probably going to end up getting fired.
They should.
I don't know. You guys think?
And they should be deported. I don't know why you would hire them for anything in American economy. What are they going to do? What are they good for? She is not good for blowjobs. No, screw this biatch. I could make a joke. I mean, I guess Greg could be hired to blow off some Jewish executives. Actually, because I mean, he already does it, so whatever. Oh gosh, it's so
Anybody?
over.
Difficulty hard. Like,
Yeah.
how much do these bonuses need to be that you keep laying these people off?
Yes, they get bonuses. Yes, they're paid way too much. I mean, I remember the EA CEO, he got a bonus. But okay, for one, how many of these people actually do good work? Some of them do a good job and they get boned, and that's unacceptable. But there's nothing wrong with having executives and having executives who make good money. Now, having freaking propagandist leftists tell you the virtue signal on this is just so freaking lame. Just shut the F up. You're not the right person to be delivering the message. But you know what? I'm at the point, personally, I think all executives could just be fired. And these companies would not change. I don't think these guys have real jobs. They are literally siphoning from the American government. They make trash games. They're making propaganda that nobody wants to purchase, including even the left, the freaking retards on the left. Even they're not buying this nonsense. So it's so clear that nobody wants any of this. It's so clear that they're all in the wrong. But here we are with this nonsense. And you have Greg trying to virtue signal on something that I think is maybe very well likely absolutely correct. But coming from him, this is why, by the way, I've said this many times. If a leftist ever tells you that we must stop abusing children, you say no. Because whenever a leftist presents to you that we need to fix something, that is always the Trojan horse for all of the illness and disease that they are going to plague you with thereafter. You always tell a leftist no. You never accept their position. You never accept their premise, their conclusion, none of it. Do not follow their train of thought, because you will destroy your life. They will destroy their own life, and you will destroy society by following a leftist. So with what he said there, no, just no to you. But separately, yes, executives, they need to be laid off. I don't know what their freaking jobs are good for.
Speaking of Greg Wade.
But again, there's nothing wrong with a CEO or an executive making good money, because he's pushing this position to push socialism, to push eat the rich. And screw you, there's nothing wrong with being wealthy and making good money and having a high status position at a company. There's nothing wrong with all of that. The problem is corruption. And we have people who are being paid who do not deserve these positions. And quite frankly, there's too many executives. What do these people do? They don't do anything. We don't even know what their job positions are. By the way, do not forget that some of these companies, including Disney, they only hire executives if they're Jewish. Oh, that's interesting. Anyways, this is a higher ring of elitists. Literally, this is a separate society of people who, because of their connections, whatever that happens to be, in some of it's racial, by the way. Some of it's Indian. If you go and look at tech centers, tech jobs, it's Indian. So this is so incestuous, all of this. These are people who do not deserve their jobs. They're not even good at their jobs, and they're being hired. Again, executives should make good money. But these people should not be executives, and we clearly have too many executives who do not belong in their positions. That's the problem. That's the real issue, and they're not going to call that out. It's these people that shouldn't be executives. They're not even doing their jobs. It's literally, it's just, oh, let me go run around and it's social hour with other executives. And let's pretend like we're doing business when really we're just shaking hands and shuffling money around. That's all it is. The level of corruption is so vast in America. It's unbelievable. And Americans are being screwed. Americans are being screwed. They could be living great lives. Americans, a good number of them. And by the way, not everyone deserves to be an American. Many people need to be deported. But Americans, red-blooded, actual, absolute Americans, they should be living good lives. And instead, these people are living the good life. This is ridiculous. For free, by the way.
It's so funny that they still don't understand, like, that it's not about the bonuses. That's not the reason. It's because the games aren't selling. Like, people aren't buying the games because people like this make the games. People play video games to get away from people like this.
Yes, and this is also true. No one's buying these games, and there's other problems with that. And then on top of that, people purchase games to get away from retards like Greg and this chick.
Like, they have to deal with this asshole already at their job.
Yes.
And they're playing video games explicitly to get away from this person.
Yeah, to get away from politically correct propagandists, but also political activists.
And then this person,
politically correct, propagandistic activists. Let's just put it like that.
Injects themselves into video games because nobody wants to be around somebody like this. It's so obnoxious, right? And so this is what happens. Like, when people talk politics in game chat, yeah, well, no. I mean, that's preferable to this.
He laid off hundreds of people last year, while the CEO of the company was apparently spending millions of dollars on old cars. I'll say this: it's rare to see an.
Nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, Greg, you probably purchased a bunch of stuff. Like, the only reason you're pissed off is because you're not the executive making the executive money. It's such an easy low blow. Again, it's these people that should not be executives. That's it. These are people who are not actually working. They are literally siphoning from Americans. Unacceptable.
Bungie. That's what happened with Bungie.
Executive literally driving a company into the ground. And we're just getting started, everybody.
Yeah, you're hilarious. You're so hilarious.
Because it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for everybody.
And then apparently they're gonna drink.
By the way.
Whatever. Wait. Where did that come from?
All right, so again, all I want you to do is
his
just
pocket.
strap in. Because it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for everybody out there.
It's gonna keep.
Yeah, he roofied the drink, by the way, so that he can finally get round two with her.
Worse too, by the way. Because the people have woken up and they've realized that they can autistically screech loud enough and destroy an entire game studio. And now that the taste of that power has been felt, there's no going back.
Kind of.
We've seen it happen, and we will make it happen again. With pleasure.
Right? And it's only going to get worse. Wait. Cheers to Shuhei. Cheers to you, Seller.
Cheers.
What is this?
That whole point by Asmin about basically like we are the media now and we are the cancel mob now against these guys and their cancel mob or whatever. I guess it's kind of like what he's saying, and it's not really, it's not one for one, but never side with the collective. The collective is always wrong. They're the easiest to control. They're the simplest in their thought. They have no rhetoric. They're retards. The collective is always wrong.
Drinking alcohol. Wow.
Just gonna put that.
It's sewn shut. It's all
Okay,
you know,
okay.
cheap soup.
Yeah. Well, so speaking on that topic, I mean, the news has been really crazy. Look at Ubisoft. They got layoffs, they got scandals, they got hostile takeover threats. I mean, seriously, imagine if their games were that exciting.
Oh my God. They would be doing so much
So
better.
the first
By the way, in order to perform like this on stage, you cannot be painfully self-aware. So, like, you do have to give it to them in this, that if you become too self-aware, you will lock up and start questioning yourself, and you will cease to perform. Now, these are terrible performers. They don't deserve their jobs. But, you know, the reason why they're so dedicated, like, you do have to keep it in mind. The reason they're so dedicated to this whole skit that they're doing is that if they stop and they start questioning what they're doing, they will immediately choke up, cringe on the spot, and be like, oh, frick, what do I say next? You will lock up. So they have to follow through with this. And by the way, that's the same thing for comedians. You have to follow through with the act. Even if you're getting booed, you just have to flow with it, or else you're not performing anymore. So even though they're terrible performers, you have to just keep on going. Even if it's horrible, even if you're getting booed, even if whatever else, even if you're questioning yourself on the spot, you have to just get the whole thing over with. But the problem is that these are activists. They do believe what they're saying. Now, whether or not it's actually going to be, whether or not people are going to think well of them or scorn them after this, you know, that's left to be seen. And of course, I think there's going to be a lot of people to scorn them after this. We've already seen that, but like, I don't know how nuclear this will be. I mean, because this just resembles it. Like, in the knowledge of knowing everything with USAID and what that's doing, having pieces of trash like this crap on the audience and right-wingers in general, it's just, this is such a nuclear level of insulting to so many people that did not bother to want to watch this. But this just shows to you what the industry thinks of you. And that's really the problem here.
That exciting.
Oh my God. They would be doing so much
So
better.
the first good joke is by the girl that's not the person who works at the company called Kind of Funny.
It's not even a good
What am I-
joke. It's not even a good, you didn't even
They got
laugh.
scandals, they got hostile takeover threats. I mean, seriously, imagine if their games were that exciting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so imagine that Ubisoft's games were as exciting as hostile takeover threats. And then literally, Asmin says that the funniest joke is by a girl that doesn't work at Kind of Funny, even though these are pre-prepared jokes. They rehearsed this. Oh my. Greg could have made that joke. They're both, it doesn't matter who says the joke. They're both just speaking. Oh man. Asmin, bro. He is such a feminist that he will literally give fake praise and fake credit. He didn't even laugh at that joke.
They would be doing so much
So
gosh.
the first good joke is by the girl that's not the person who
God,
works
you're
at the
such a
company called Kind of
feminist.
Funny.
You're such a feminist.
What am I?
You
What am I
freaking
surprised
cock.
by? You know what I mean?
Simping for this chick, man. This is
so much
pathetic.
better.
Yeah, and on top of that, GameStop shut down Game Informer.
And that one really hurt. I can't believe that. Of course, Game Informer was the best part of GameStop.
No. Screw both of them. Screw both companies or whatever. Yeah, it's F you.
Hey.
See ya. Wow, this is taking forever.
Yeah, now unfortunately, the best part about a GameStop is leaving the GameStop.
Walking out, yeah.
Yeah.
That one was flat. Okay.
Oh man, that forced laughter. That hurts. Woof.
I'm so sad I didn't get to react to this live.
Yeah, I think, you know what, man, I actually think they're cringing inside as they're doing this. Like, they know that this is already bad. Maybe they're just not cut out for this and they don't know what else to do with their careers. I literally have no idea what's going on, but like, it just feels like they know that they shouldn't be up there doing this. Man, that laugh, woof. Woof. I mean, they know they're doing bad.
This is amazing. Oh my god.
Again, strap in, everybody. There was a lot of annoying culture war stuff around games in 2024.
Yeah, a lot of the talk revolved around...
This is a segment about me. This is another... See, I'm getting brought up indirectly. Like, obviously, I probably won't be named, like Voldemort. But, you know, I'm not as...
Nah, there's worse people than you that will actually never be mentioned. There's a bunch of people out there that nobody mentions.
Important as...
Well, kind of. At some point, people do mention
Elon Musk or
names.
Trump. We gotta work harder on that, guys. We gotta get these videos out. We gotta go to the White House. And like, man, yeah.
On women characters in games not being attractive anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I think about it,
Yeah, they're not attractive anymore.
I have a very nuanced opinion on it, which is basically, who fucking cares?
Who cares? Men all throughout history have always loved beautiful women. And are you really going to defend the position that dysgenic women who are unattractive, so their features are not correct for biological desirability, and they're probably obese, probably old, you're going to literally sit there and shame all of the history of mankind for desiring beautiful women? Really? You think you're going to win an argument by saying that? Yeah, bro, beautiful women matters.
The people that made this show and the person next to you, that's why she's wearing this dress.
And it's so funny, yes, and I noticed this immediately. That's like, this chick is literally a 4 trying to dress up as beautiful as possible, and he's sitting here like, oh, who cares? Who cares, bro? Who cares about sexy women in games and sexy women in general? By the way, these feminist cucks, they always speak out of both sides of their freaking mouth. This mother effing guy right here, you know how many freaking male feminists, they will say stuff like this, and he's jerking it to like some hot chick. Like, he probably has an OnlyFans subscription or something, or he dreams of beating off to this chick when she looks her most attractive. The level of projecting by leftists is so astounding, dude. Like, again, the amount of male feminists that do this, and they give some of the biggest crap about hot, sexy women, and then they sit there and they're like, who cares, bro? Trying to grandstand like a male feminist. You are so disingenuous, bro. You literally get deported.
Press.
But they're blatant liars. Leftists like Greg Miller are blatant liars. Just keep that in mind.
Idiot. Stupid idiot.
You do not actually believe what's coming out of your mouth. Every man, no man, okay, it's as simple as this. No man gets a hard on to unattractive women. No man wants to really engage with unattractive women. No man gives a crap about... The only reason men have anything to do with women is either because that woman is family, and even then you might be like, I hate this freaking female. And it's only if they're your sister or your mother that you really will put up with them. But even then, if it really gets pushed to its limit, you're like, screw them too. So no man outside of family actually engages with a woman unless they're attracted to the woman. It is just that simple. Who cares about beautiful women, you freaking cock? You're either admitting that you're gay, or again, you're a blatant liar, which both might be true. So what the frick is wrong with you, Greg? again, like the only reason men involve themselves with women is because of women's beauty. The only reason that any man likes a woman is because of their attractiveness. You're so, at this point, I am at a loss for words. I literally don't know what to say. It's such a blatant lie. Why did you choose the lie? Why are you doing this? I mean, seriously, what demon has a butt plug up your freaking butt? Satan is forcing you to do this. You are being possessed. What the frick is going on here?
How can you be that dumb? Like, who cares? It's a room temperature. This is amazing.
Women care about being beautiful. Why do you think there's an entire makeup and fashion industry? Why do you think women spend so much time with, like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette? And there's everything that women care about has to do with sexuality and beauty. Why do you think women care about this? Why do you think men care about women? Why do you think there's Playboy magazine? Oh God. Oh my, dude, why am I saying this? Bro, this is common sense. Who are these freaking propagandist pieces of filth? You don't even believe what you're saying, Greg. Who is paying you to say this? What Moloch worshiping entity? I want, do an investigation, do an audit on this freaking guy. They talked about, audit the taxes on Trump, audit these leftists. I want to see who the frick is paying them, because we know who was freaking paying Anita Sarkeesian. Now we need to know who's paying these freaking pieces of filth. Jeez, man.
What is this?
By the way, give me some of that money. Jeez Louise.
This is amazing.
I will sit here and start speaking their language if I'm getting some of that money. Love of God.
Oh my God. Is this discount Ricky Gervais?
Nope.
Not even. Really, not even.
It's a funny joke, though.
Have these people seen a woman up close before? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, we have. You're standing next to one.
Yeah, we have seen a woman up close before. And that's why we're talking about wanting beautiful women in games and not ugly women in games. Yeah.
And,
And by the way, Greg, I know what you beat off to. I absolutely know what you beat off to. And it's washed up fours who are trying to look like a 9 out of 10, even though the best she's going for is 6 out of 10. It's not working. Anyways, I know what you beat off to, bro. Yeah, you're not beating off to ugly women. I know that for a fact. I know that you've purchased OnlyFans. I know. And the chick was probably hot. She was probably thin. She was probably not as chubby as this chick. She was probably rail thin. She probably looked like a model. And you were like, dang, I want some of that. She probably had a nice waistline, nice breasts, nice butt. She didn't look like she was super out of shape. She probably had all the right proportions. And that's why you purchased it. You probably really care. And now you're going to see you're going to be a male feminist. And you're going to lie and sit on stage, virtue signal, and act like you're not a man. Or again, maybe you're a homosexual. Maybe. I don't know.
I think if you make characters look more like her and less like the ones in Concord.
Nobody wants this chick to be a character. No. Dude, there's a bunch of women in Japan. You want to go, by the way, look at American ads. Look at ads in America. Literally, look at how many dysgenic, ugly, disgusting, vile pieces of filth of women and just people in general are on American ads. Especially when it's minorities. Then it gets really bad. What the frick? When we get to the freaking Hispanics and the blacks, then it's like, what the frick? There's no attractive people in America anymore. But when look at Japanese ads. It's a bunch of attractive Japanese women everywhere. They're always attractive. It's like, you will think that all the women in Japan are attractive, which, most of them are actually thin and they largely take care of themselves. So actually, yes, I think on average, there's, definitely a lot of attractive women in Japan, but this woman is not attractive. You want to see attractive? Go look at Japan. There's a bunch of attractive women just on simple advertising, advertisements, but just advertising material no matter what it is, a bunch of attractive Japanese women are everywhere in Japan. Love of God.
You wouldn't be having posts like that, and you wouldn't be having games failing like Concord did. That's the reality, and everybody knows it. And I don't like making, judgments on people's appearance or anything like that. But it's very clear that she's wearing a dress that accentuates the way that she looks, and I think
accentuates barely what's there. Again, she's tightening. She has a band that's tightening, or it's the dress itself that's like tightening the living daylights out of her waistline here. And then look at her arms, bro. She eats too much. It's just simple as that. Look at the double chin. No. She's too comfortable. She's overeating.
I think that people
the women in Japan on those freaking ads that I randomly see. Well, I saw it a little while back. Anyways, don't care for these random products. Okay, it's just anything. Just literally, bro. Just look at random advertisements from Japan. They don't have double chin. They don't have all this extra body fat. They're literally just thin and attractive. Love of God.
Appreciate that. This is something that people have done for literally thousands of years. It's normal. And so it's just like, do you have no self-awareness at all about this? Do you have no?
Yes, that is leftist for you. They have no self-awareness.
How can you be this ridiculously stupid? It's incredible. Oh my God.
But I do think they don't have self-awareness when it comes down to their own ethics. But right now they know they're being cringe, and they know this is not going to go well for them afterwards. They do know that they got themselves in a really bad comedic air quotes skit. They know.
Just virtue signaling? Yeah, but don't you think you could do it at a time that it doesn't seem quite as hypocritical? It's amazing.
Being leftist is hypocritical. Leftist thinking, leftist ways of thinking, beliefs, philosophies, all of it is implicitly cognitive dissonance. So yes, there's no way to avoid being hypocritical as a leftist, because you are in a perpetual state of cognitive dissonance, saying, for instance, men and women are equal, and that we have to reinforce forcefully the parity between men and women being equal. We have to always make sure that's real. Even if it's not real, we got to make sure it seems to be real. So again, propaganda. And then you've got, whites and blacks are equal, and Hispanics are equal to all the other races. And all these races, Muslim, whatever, everyone's equal. There's no differences in race, even though there's tons. IQ, immune systems between the different races are different, by the way. Nobody talks about that. By the way, genetics, completely different between the races. There's a bunch of factors there, which of course involves IQ, but other factors outside of that. Phenotypes, by the way, between the races are different. And those phenotypes, they indicate certain factors about the individuals. People act like, for instance, physiognomy is a real thing, and people love to act like it's not. Anyways, there's so many, but this is the thing about leftists. The world itself is not equal. People are not equal. There are beautiful and ugly people, average and above average people. This is the reality to the world. And leftists are raging hypocrites. By the way, I don't think hypocrite is the right term here. I think Asman's misusing it. But anyways, regardless, his idea of hypocrite here, okay? Because really what he means is cognitive dissonance. Yes, that is leftism for you. That is being a leftist for you.
It's a script? Yeah, but they probably wrote the script.
Yes, they did. And I guess they didn't realize it was going to go this bad.
Because Indiana Jones fighting Nazis in games is now considered political.
One more time.
Script? Yeah, but they probably wrote the script.
Out everybody. But of course you can tell times are tough because Indiana Jones fighting Nazis in games is now considered political.
Terrible joke. Absolute blatant propaganda, what he just said right there. And yes, it is, by the way, I've covered it extensively on this channel by now, how much I hate Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And by the way, no one cared about that game. That game was a major failure. No one literally remembers the story. Remember, it was game of the year. No one cares. No one cares about the game. And it was dog trash anyways. There was some redeeming elements, but those redeeming elements were like, geez Louise. I mean, it's like we're having to redesign the freaking wheel now. We screwed up gaming so hard that we have no expectations anymore. And that's exactly what that game is. No, the game sucks. It's not good. Uncharted is better. Screw you. By the way, Tomb Raider 2013 is better. Anyways, no, and also no. So, but okay, let's tackle this point here. Yes, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, where you're fighting Nazis, that is absolutely political. Now, why is that? Because, for one, has everything to do with identity politics, especially by the left, which has to do with what? Oh, the whole thing with the Jews and also, evil white people. That is a part of identity politics, fighting the Nazis. This is why they've been pushing this for freaking years and generations, is so that white man bad and remember those bigots from Germany? Oh, white people bad. We can't give them power again. That's why you have to allow your freaking country to be invaded by the browns and the blacks and whatever else. And this is why we have to sit here and lambaste white people about civil rights all the time in the civil rights era and free my slaves and blah, blah, blah. By the way, all that was freaking nonsense. All that was freaking propaganda. But that's aside from the point, again, put them back in chains. But anyways, outside of that, or don't, but don't actually just send them back to their country though. What the frick? Anyways, but I mean, just screw the whole conversation. All right. This whole thing about civil rights where we have to act like the races are all equal when they're not. And we know they're not. And everyone knows they're not. Black men don't like black women. They love white women. Gee, well, I thought you were equal to, I thought whites were equal to blacks, but you don't desire black women. That's interesting. So you know that there is some extensive level of, man, it's absolutely unbelievable to me. Just every time that you think about it. But anyways, it's obvious that there's some level of inequality going on there. So clear. It's so clear that there is, forget it. Like I already made the point. It's just so amazing. I'm thinking about a couple things right now about it, but let's just move on because let's just make the other points. I don't want to go down that whole rabbit trail, but let's just put it like this. They love to talk about equality, and then they never live by equality because there is no equality. It's a freaking pipe dream by freaking retards. Moving on. So civil rights era, all that nonsense was propaganda, complete BS. Anyone believing in it, you're just a freaking retard and you don't think for yourself. It's just that simple. So anyways, yes, the whole thing about fighting Nazis is absolute, it's woke, and it is absolute leftist propaganda. Why is it? Because it plays into the identity politics of the left that they utilize to push their ethics. That's number one. Number two is it's so that they can also hate on nationalism. That is why the Nazis get such a bad rap, and that's why leftists love to beat up on them, even though they had some good ideas, and actually they were not wrong about everything that they were talking about, and these were men that were standing for their country. The problems going on during that time where their country was being invaded, and the German people were being usurped, and they wanted their country back. They wanted their identity back. It was being taken from them, and they wanted it back. There's nothing wrong with it. No one has a problem when other countries that are specifically brown or just not white say that they want to maintain their own sovereignty. No one has a problem there. But we all have a problem with white people saying we want our white countries to remain white and we're going to fight for it. Then you say it's a problem. You don't say it's a problem when it comes down to, I don't know, God's chosen people or other groups of people that are outside of God's chosen people, because the left, they can't make up their mind ever. Anyways, wokeness has many shades of retardation, but moving on. The ultimate point is that the left does everything in their power to vilify the enemy that is not the real true enemy. And they demonize the Nazis so that you don't pay attention to the real enemy, which are who? The Marxists. Which, by the way, who are the Marxists? Well, a very specific demographic, and I'm just going to leave it there. So anyways, and other people, but also a very specific demographic that facilitated the extermination of 30 million Christian Russian men in the Bolshevik Revolution. So anyways, that doesn't matter, I guess, because they're white, right? White people need to be replaced. That's the morality. Do not forget. Anyway, they demonized Nazis because these were men that were finally standing for their own country, not to be replaced and not to have their economy torn from under them. That's why they're demonized. Because again, I said this previously a specific way, and I might forget now, but I said this in a previous video. I've said it in many different ways, but in many other variations, right? The left, for instance, is anti-gun, but they're pro-killer. The left is anti-enterprise, but they're pro-confiscation by the government of property, of your assets, of your wealth. The left as well, they are anti, how did I put it? It is, I'm just going to paraphrase it or just improv, whatever the frick I said previously. But the left is anti, it's not that they're anti-nationalist. In fact, when it comes down to the browns and the blacks, they're very pro-nationalist. They're just anti-white. And there's another way I put it, but that is true what I just said, but I said it another way that I think was better wording. I forget which video it was at this point, but you cannot forget the left is absolutely, they're pro anything and everything. They are pro-nationalist. They are pro-ethno-nationalist. It's just that they're anti-white, and that's all it comes down to. And when you sit there and you're standing for your country and you're standing for your people, it's wrong and it's evil, for one, when you're successful as a white nation. And then for two, just being white, you're just wrong. If you're white, you're wrong. Whatever it is, you're wrong.
Yeah. But you know what? Let's celebrate the good.
Of course.
Personally,
That was not actually the reason why people didn't like Indiana Jones.
No. I mean, yes, that's not the core reason why everyone disliked Indiana Jones, but that was absolute propaganda. And Greg, you're an absolute propaganda piece of filth. Propagandist piece of filth. But anyways, yes, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was complete woke, dogmatic propaganda when it comes down to hating on. I mean, they always have to make the freaking Nazis cartoonish villains rather than treating them like legitimate people who are far more intelligent than all the people that we know and see today, including Greg Miller. Yes, they were more intelligent than you. Just stop acting like you're smarter than them. You're not. And again, these guys were actually fighting to maintain and sustain their country. What's wrong with that? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You just don't like the fact that they were pushing back on invaders who were, by the way, impoverishing and starving out the German people. Don't forget that. Love of God, man.
Indiana Jones did relatively well also.
And there were so many other problems going on for Germany at the time. And they were pushing all kinds of nonsense, having to do with trans stuff, homosexual stuff. That's why books were burned. There's a reason why everything happened the way it did. There's a reason why an entire nation backed up and supported Funny Mustache Man. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. And that's because they were dealing with a legitimate problem, and they're hated on not because they were wrong, but because a specific propaganda party does not want you to side with people who did the right thing for their country.
It reviewed well.
And by the way, there's a lot of other propaganda about it. Certain numbers about certain things happening, certain camps that were not built to be camps, that whole thing as well. Anyways.
People that played it enjoyed the game. It's like, it's not even something that happened. It was political how? And also the reason why people were unhappy about Indiana Jones is one of the people that was talking about the game looked like your typical, like woke person with like dyed hair and it's like, weird hair.
You're dancing around it. It was political and it was woke. Now, how many people are able to call it out because they're honest with themselves? Not many people are honest with themselves.
Okay. And they said they're making it for modern audiences. That's the actual reason why. It wasn't political, but it wasn't reviewed well at all. Let's fact check it. Huh. Okay. Well, what a surprise.
No, shills reviewed it well, but those shills, they didn't even play the game. There's a bunch of people, they play the game for like an hour or 2 hours, like basically a demo, and then they leave a review, like 5 or 4 stars. And there's a bunch of them, and I've covered it many times on this channel, the shills who leave reviews in review sections. And now Asmon's going to do something that's so retarded. Here we go.
That my remembrance of a number is in fact accurate.
Oh wow, the Metacritic. Oh wow,
there
big
are
deal.
A lot of cases
it's
where
not like
actually, no.
it's not like these numbers on Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, that these numbers are inflated by these companies who purchase fake reviewers to leave fake reviews, which they absolutely do. And this has been proven over and over again for the Velma show, for the Acolyte show, for, we can go down a whole bunch of different television shows where they got a bunch of fake positive reviews by obviously either industry insiders or bots. And yes, bots leave reviews. Absolutely. And this has been proven how many times by all these companies doing it. Bethesda does it. Disney does it with their games. Star Wars Outlaws and all these other games. Eternal Strands, I covered that recently. That had a bunch of shills. People who don't care about the game, but they got a free copy or something else, and they're shilling it. Oh, God, man.
There are very minor cases where I do get things wrong. Usually.
And you get that. You got this wrong. You got this wrong. Metacritic is not a legitimate site to gauge how people view a product. It's very simple. Do people remember the game? Do people talk about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? Did anyone care? Did the game perform well? And is there ever going to be a sequel that people actually want to purchase? The answer's no. Metacritic means nothing. You can gerrymander these sites, and you can absolutely shift these numbers around when you are these companies with all these profits from USAID or whatever else. If you're not getting your money from there, whatever it is, you can utilize this money to reinforce your will, to reinforce your narrative, if you so please. You can do that. And many of these companies, they have done that. And yes, absolutely, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle had a bunch of shills that they purchased for one way or another.
Usually I don't.
So glad that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is nominated for 6 awards tonight.
Wow.
Whatever.
It's over 8. People like it a lot.
Including Game of the Year. Let me tell you,
Whatever.
Nobody gets screwed out of awards more than a December video game.
Yeah, it's great for Christmas, but terrible.
Whatever.
Terrible for trophies. And this isn't
Whatever.
even a joke. I just really like that game and want to call out the fact that it's great. You got a Game of the Year nomination. Come on.
Whatever. And nobody remembers it. Nobody cares. The shills who didn't even play the game, they're the only ones that care.
It really makes you feel like Indiana Jones.
It does, it does, it does.
Also,
Yeah,
Troy
I
Baker, if you're
bet.
out there, if you ever want to leave me voicemails as Indiana Jones, feel free.
Okay.
What the? Oh man, that pissed off Greg, by the way.
It really makes you feel like Indiana Jones.
It does, it does, it does.
Also, Troy Baker, if you're out there, if you ever want to leave me voicemails as Indiana Jones, feel free.
Love of God, man. Man, but I don't need to say anything. I'm so whatever.
Okay.
I get one of
Greg is so upset. He is a male feminist and he's trying so hard. He wants her to love him so bad. And that's why, he literally sat. This is the thing about male feminists. It's like, dude, the amount of simping you will do, the amount of sitting there and be like, have you seen a real woman? You can sit there and say all this nonsense all you want. She's not going to love you, bro. Man. Oh, there's a story behind all of this. Oh, man.
Come on.
You get what? You get as many as you want. Don't
Bro,
worry.
put Craig on suicide watch, I swear.
Okay.
I get one of come on.
You get what? You get as many as you want. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
I see Rod Ferguson over here. Of course, one of my favorite games, Diablo.
Rod is in the audience. Oh God.
I don't know who that is.
Oh no. He is, yep.
Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred is nominated for Online Game of the Year. Get your hands together. Thank you, Rod. Of course, that is a game that takes
All right, so
real
he's
skill.
shilling for Diablo
Yeah, and I'm
4.
not trying to flatter everyone here, but if I know one thing about this audience is that none of you
Whatever.
have to pay someone to play Diablo for you.
Here's how you know that's not true. Is that Elon Musk played Diablo 4 multiple times and he posted videos multiple times. Not even once did anybody call out his skill in the game at all. Because it was so simple and so easy that anybody could do it. So of all the cases of Diablo 4, because it was only really discussed, it was believable. It's like, wow, he's hitting the big button. Oh my God, he's hitting the big button and doing the big number. And this is on the level that's the big level. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Well, that's the issue. It's like saying that you're the best player in PoE or Diablo, any of these RPG games. It's like, it's just a matter of putting in astronomical amounts of time, wasting your life away. That's all it is. There's no skill. It's just a time sink. And this is what I made my freaking rant video talking exactly about this. This is why I hate these games. This is why I've quit playing a lot of games like these. It's a time sink, and that's it. That's all it's made for. That's why I stopped playing Diablo the second I got to end game, because I was like, they're literally just trying to waste my time here. Screw you.
level up your own characters when you're dismantling democracy.
That's right. Wow.
Good job.
I feel like we're in good company here, but just in case for the people online, if you get mad at that joke, it's Greg Miller. G-R-E-G.
M-I-L-L-E-R. Fuck Elon Musk and fuck Donald Trump.
Stunning and brave.
Yeah, dude, just like, you're not a hero for doing that. And literally, you're not going to fix the country by saying that. It only gets worse by you saying that.
Now, speaking of which, a lot of changes.
This is the games industry that, again, these are the people that.
And these people tell you, why do you make everything be about politics? Isn't that amazing? Like, there's literal people that when you talk about the politics of games, they're like, oh, gee, I was really hoping you wouldn't talk about the politics. What? Because you're complicit and you like it when these freaking liberals push politics into everything that we're experiencing today? Whether it's these game awards shows, the video games that we're playing, game reviewers who are super woke and they say, oh, it's not woke. And if you think it's woke, you don't have sex with women or something else. They say something else that's stupid. They call you names, racist, sexist, whatever, Nazi, whatever.
That other people try to desperately convince you aren't trying to put politics into video games. This is an audience full of them.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
They always say it's not about politics, and then they proceed to make everything politics.
Who could have guessed?
Happened in the past year.
That's right. For example, the PlayStation 5 Pro came out last year.
This is true.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, it's so powerful that Sony is almost ready to make a game for it.
Basically,
It's actually crazy that the only jokes that are kind of funny are from the person that doesn't work at Kind of Funny.
So you just, she's not even funny. You're not even laughing. Stop simping. She's not even attractive. Oh, God, bro. God, freaking simps. Oh, man. Oh, man.
I think it's funny. It's just, what are the odds, right? It's scripted, bro? Yeah, I know.
in 2024, Sony made a powerful PlayStation. So powerful, it had never been this powerful before. It was the most powerful PlayStation of all time.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and in 2024, Microsoft made Xbox more confusing than ever. That was not, come on.
I mean, I get it. Everything's an Xbox with the screen.
Yeah, and in 2024, Microsoft made Xbox more confusing than ever. That was not, come on.
I mean, I get it. Everything's an Xbox with the screen. I think it's cool, but whatever. Online people hate it. But of course.
Okay, that's a Greg W. At least he fucking understands. He's right about that. Xbox is the best publisher out there right now. Like, aside from maybe Steam, right?
we did finally get the big announcement. The Switch 2 is huge. It's a huge
No,
deal.
I think he was a major Xbox fanboy for the longest time, as I remember. I think Greg Miller, he literally was a spokesperson for Xbox. I don't remember him ever being a spokesperson for Sony ever. So, I don't know why you would expect him to, especially as a corporate shill. I don't know why you would expect him not. Or I don't know why you would expect him to trash on Xbox and not to shill it, right? I don't know.
I'm so excited. I mean, we're still waiting on a lot of the important details, of course.
Of course. It's expected to release later this year, and based on tariffs, it's going to cost about $17,000.
Oh, wow. Wow, that lazy argument that Trump literally going to war against countries that are screwing over Americans with products and overpricing everything and making it so that it's very difficult for Americans. Well, okay, they're making it so that they can make more money on the product that Americans already have to purchase, right? So you're paying like extra if it's not double, it might be triple, or maybe it's only a quarter more, whatever. You're paying more than you should be from these other countries. And it's absolutely unacceptable because a lot of their income comes from who? America. So, and that includes China. Yes, absolutely. That's why they want to do business with America. So, no, Trump is going through tariff wars. He's engaging in these tariffs so that he can guarantee for Americans good prices on their goods and services, and so that also Americans stop getting screwed over on any of these products and their prices. And that also is conjoined with the jobs, so that these companies cannot just so easily afford to hand over fist, screw over Americans and American workers through the labor in their countries. They get to make the money, not only through tariffs, but also they're employing their own people, and their people get to make a certain amount of money. Depending on the company, it's really good money because of this whole agreement that the Democrats have allowed for many years. So he's going through this whole tariffs war because he's guaranteeing an economical future for Americans. That's what's going on here. Don't be a freaking dolt, man, about it. The country's being screwed over. There's no other way that you fix this problem besides, it's not even that bad, but it's like, obviously, it's going to be a little bit contentious getting to a good place. These countries have been screwing over America for a long time. So you have to go through a tariffs war. But they're exaggerating the problem. It's just, this is so ridiculous.
Still cheaper than eggs, but you know,
Still cheaper than eggs, that is correct. Well, probably it'd be easier to get than eggs
I know,
as well.
honestly.
Yeah, love of
So
God.
another big story from the past year was a lot of companies have been trying to figure out how to incorporate
whatever,
AI
man.
into their games.
And Stella and I
Oh no, here we go. Here's the AI. This is the obligatory AI being bad. Oh God, here we go. You ready?
actually have a very easy solution.
Yeah, ready? Don't steal my.
I told you. It's just it's these people. It's like it's NPC programming, man. It's so sad. It really is. You know, people like this make me feel really good. And to be fair, I think
they
this girl
think
is
like
doing
Redditors.
it's mainly this guy that's very obnoxious. The girl is okay.
Oh, you're such a freaking Oh my, he's simping so hard for this chick. Asmongold, you freaking simp. Piece of filth. Love of God. She's not funny. You're not even laughing. Oh my gosh. Gee, I wonder when a guy's not laughing at what a chick says, and then he says she's funny. Gee, I wonder why he's saying that. God, bro. Gosh. She's not even attractive. There's so many women hotter than her. Oh my gosh. This is pathetic. She is unbearable. This is a feminist piece of filth trash can right here. She's trying so hard to compete with men. She's speaking down to freaking feminist male cucklord here. She's horrible. God, man, simps like Asmon. They try so hard to build up women and their freaking egos. For what? For what? She's not going to respect you. She's not funny. She's not likable. What are you doing?
People like this actually put me in a good mood because I realize that we're going to keep winning. Because people like this are so obnoxious, so unlikable, so rude, so annoying.
Well, then you realize there's a bunch of leftists out there who are exactly like these people. And that's the problem. So like, yeah, it can make you feel good about yourself because you're like, oh, I'm not these losers. But then you realize there's a bunch of these freaking clowns out there and they don't see a problem with being like this. This is who they are. Yes, there's a bunch of unbearable adult children out there. And a lot of them are millennials, Zoomers, Gen Alpha. Go down the list.
That they just can't stop getting in the way of themselves.
Yeah, that's a lot of these modern day liberals. Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah.
Don't steal my line.
Don't put AI in your games. We stopped the NFT
liberals
thing.
in
We
general,
should
though,
learn from
by the
that
way.
mistake. We should also not do the AI thing, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, but some of you in this audience
That's
are real
not-
heroes. As a resident
that's
of Los
not-
Angeles, and I know
no.
some of y'all are too,
No one's going to listen to you on that.
I want to personally thank each and every one of you who donated.
So there's a lot. This shows in California. So the problem with something like this is that there are just if you're like one of those, they call them chuds, like this is like watching remember like whenever Alex Jones got into the Bohemian Grove and he's like, it's real, I knew it all along. I knew it. It's like confirming every fucking bias, every stereotype, everything that you could possibly do. It's amazing.
Or put your game in a bundle or did anything to raise money to help with the fires.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you.
The fires suck.
Of course, so many people did great stuff.
Let me guess.
Wow,
Now
look at that
he's going
face on that
he's going
guy.
to pivot to making a dig at
Dead
Trump
inside.
or something.
Let us give you one example. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is nominated for 3 awards tonight, and that's impressive on its own.
Oh, that's pretty good. They didn't do that. I'm surprised.
Even more impressive, a bundle created for Call of Duty raised over $1.6 million to
right.
help with LA
All
fires.
right.
And then Activision donated another $1 million. So let's give it up for them.
Good job, Activision.
I'm sorry, what is this about? This some awards show? Okay.
It was just Activision's way of saying, we
Wow,
love you,
they
Los
look
Angeles.
miserable
Good
being
job,
there.
Activision.
Or no, well, yeah, they just don't care to be there. Yeah.
It was just Activision's way of saying, we love you, Los Angeles.
Yeah, but also Treyarch's way of saying, we're so sorry that Peter Ackerman flew a drone into that plane.
What? I don't know about that.
It turns out you can't solve every problem with a joystick.
No, unfortunately. But also, sorry, Treyarch. We know he's not actually there anymore. Sorry.
But we also know it definitely came up in some conversations, so.
Yeah. But also nominated tonight is Balatro.
Yes. You already know, but Balatro is great because at its core, it's an addictively simple game.
You know, man, you have a lot of people out there that are really talented. People who are actually funny. People who are actually smart. This is not that. I don't know how. Yeah, I guess though those people, they go on to do bigger things than this.
Yeah, I know some of y'all are playing it right now on your phones. But describing Balatro to someone makes you
Nah, you got so many dudes out there though that are so much funnier than this. But notice how they always have to make it be nowadays a man and a woman. A woman's not funny. Why do we have two presenters, a woman trying to be funny and a man trying to be funny, but he happens not to be the funniest of his compatriots? It was like, why do we have a woman here? This is so stupid. Oh.
sound like an insane person.
Okay, so it's poker, but there's like 50 jokers. And you can only use 5 of them unless, of course, you have a negative joker, which gives you more jokers.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That sounds easy.
Very easy. I don't know why people have so much trouble with it. It's also wild, of course, that the developer of Balatro is anonymous.
Yeah, so if any of you are looking to impress someone at the after party, have I got a lie for you?
Yeah.
I'm zoning
I created
out.
Balatro, you know, with all the
Where's
cards
this
and
going?
stuff.
It's going to the cemetery. It is. It is. It's going to the morgue. We found the
What, the
We
Antichrist?
found the negative Joker.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's like, I just found a negative Joker.
I guess.
Oh God. Oh man, there it is, right?
Oh my God. Can I buy you a drink later?
It's that easy, everybody, and I think it's open bar, so that's even weirder.
Can we skip this? It's almost over.
But that's right. The developer of Balatro is anonymous. I mean, seriously, who is this Joker? I can't believe they're booing you, Stella.
How dare you?
This is actually true, of course. We were actually told to only do one Balatro joke.
To which we said, nobody does just one round of Balatro.
Because you play
Okay, yeah.
fast and you play a lot of rounds all at once. Oh, now they're hissing. Damn, they hate you. They
Oh man, yo, even these executives are turning against them. Man, no one's on their side. Oh jeez. Oh man. Now this is getting funny. Man. Oh man. Now it's really getting bad. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Frick. I mean, yeah, they were throwing a lot of shots at the executives, so they're not making friends on the internet or in the room. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, okay. Well, what was I thinking about? I was thinking about something that I said earlier. Yeah, again, like I swear that they've had sex once, and I literally think that she had sex with him only because she's trying to get into the industry, and that's it. Obviously, she's not into him. It's women like this though. They're so freaking corrosive. They use their freaking vagina as the access way to career advancement. And there's so many examples of how this happens in so many different industries. And I mean a lot of different industries, love of God. What's one example that happened recently that I'm thinking of? God, it happens so many different, oh geez, it happens everywhere in sports. Oh yeah, there's this one sports commentator chick, I think with ESPN or whatever, and she was literally sleeping her whole way to the top to keep her job and also to get to her position as a commentator in football, I believe. So it's not the first time. It just that's how these women get through. And then on certain journalists, I forget which one it is, but there was a gaming journalist site that was doing. Oh, no, it's some other chick, but also Anita Sarkeesian, I believe, was also sleeping with. Oh yeah, there's other chicks. There's a bunch of these like super woke chicks with I think one of them was Kotaku, and then there's another one. So I think it was Anita. There's this one chick, I forget her name right now, but super annoying. Then there's this other chick. Oh God, it's on the tip of my tongue. But women do this all the time, where they sleep their way to the top. That's the only way they can do it. And then they suck at their job, of course.
hate you, Stella. Wow.
All right. Okay, fine. What about Astrobot? There we go. Okay, we got him back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what an amazing game. So deserving of a nomination for Game of the
Yeah,
Year.
they're trying
I know,
so
right?
hard.
Astrobot was like a beautiful commercial for every game that Sony doesn't make anymore.
That was a good one, to be fair. I would
Yes,
say that
I
is,
mean,
in fact,
yeah, that's
kind of funny.
exactly what it. It's not funny.
It's been 10 minutes,
it's
so
just,
he's
yeah,
finally
it's
got
true.
one in.
Look, bring back
Yep.
Parappa the Rapper already. I need a reason to.
Come on, where is he? Bring him back!
Oh, also, let's not forget about Marvel Rivals, which is nominated for Online Game of the Year.
What a great
Has
game.
actually attractive women in it.
Didn't they just criticize like Donald Trump or Elon Musk for trying to dismantle democracy, and now they're glazing a Chinese-made game?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. I think there's a bit of it's different. No, it's not. I don't think it's different, really.
Well,
that much.
again. It's not about being pro democracy or authoritarian. It's just about being anti-white. It's literally all it comes down to.
Much at all. Yeah, I don't. I really don't think it's that different. It's not. Yeah, I'm. You're assuming they know it's Chinese made. Where's the correlation there? The correlation there is that China is every company that is in China is owned is related to the Chinese Communist Party, and the games that are put out by China are censored and moderated in ways that make the Chinese international image look better. And so,
Okay. So I remember Asmongold being very pro censorship when he's sensitive to the topic matter. So now suddenly you care about the curation of content in games, or I guess the internet, if China owns some significant platform, like maybe TikTok. I mean, okay. So now you have a problem with it? A surveillance state? Even though, because I've covered this in the past, he supported people getting censored and silenced because they're not feminist enough. He calls them misogynistic and things like that. Interesting.
if you have a problem with people that are trying to dismantle democracy and you're glazing a Chinese game, I'm sorry, but I'm just simply not going to have. And also, this, by the way, is a Chinese game that actively censors discussions about genocide.
Oh, so now censorship matters. So censorship matters when you perceive genuine cider, but then when it comes down to feminism, criticizing it, and that gets you labeled as a misogynist, then people need to be silenced. Is that right, Asmon? Cuck.
I'm just simply like, and by the way, I have no problem with this. I love Marvel Rivals. I played it like 2 days ago. But I'm not grandstanding. It's different? It's not. I don't think it's different at all. Who cares? They do. And I do too. I think it's an insult to the intelligence of a lot of the viewers when you can have such obvious double standards that I think it just makes it to where like all of these opinions are just really only specific political issues. Yeah. It's virtue signaling that's opportunistic that gets applause. It's obvious to you? Yeah, it is. You care what happens in China? I mean, to an extent, yeah. If they're marketing a product and putting out, and if they're, yeah, I think it's fair to care, like, to an extent what happens over there. And if you want to make a political statement and then you don't hold other people to the same standard, I think that's outrageous. What does genocide have to do with Marvel Rivals? Well,
Has to do with the government. Has to do whether or not you agree with the government. And now people en masse are committing to commerce with the government through its products, doing business with a country that is conducting itself in a way that you find either heinous or amendable towards your own beliefs. In some way, whatever with it, but like, you know, as an individual, I can get it that maybe you have a problem with that. It's like, you don't want to support someone that you view as your adversary. I can understand that. Obviously, that's a slightly larger topic or conversation, but I mean, I don't know. I think obviously picking up a game from the country is separate from how that country operates politically, right? And its products. You can choose to have a problem with it. It's just, yeah, I don't. I guess I would need to think about that. I really don't care. Like on the spot here, I don't care. But maybe I would have to think about like I don't really. Anyways,
You
I
can't
don't know.
discuss certain topics or use certain words in the chat of Marvel Rivals because they conflict with CCP censorship.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing. I feel like this kind of issue, like there's so many other issues. To have an issue with one thing, it's like, the whole thing is stupid. Like, yeah, being censored is ridiculous by these companies and these platforms. But there's, Warframe does it. There's so many of these. They don't allow you to talk about what you want to talk about, which is BS. You're the customer. And also, this is what you reasonably concluded in your own mind that seems reasonable to talk about. But, on Warframe, if you sit there and say that, you can't transition from man to female, they sit there and they will ban you and be like, oh, you're super phobic and you're all these terms. And if you sit there and say that whites are, that blacks are not equal to whites and all that, if you say something like that, then on Warframe, for instance, they'll ban you and you're not allowed to speak your mind. So it's like, a lot of these platforms, but I'm pretty sure, by the way, that Asmon supports people censoring over that, even though there's a good reason that some people might want to say something like that, just like how you might want to say what you say. It's interesting how certain people, because of your sensitivity, some people are allowed to speak and some people are not, even though people are trying to illuminate problems that they're seeing, right? Talking about the fact that it's like, women should get back in the kitchen. Oh, well, on Warframe, you shouldn't be allowed to say that. And that's misogynistic. So then you should be censored, right? Something that he supported in the past on certain people, not with Warframe, but other things that he saw as misogynistic and that you shouldn't be allowed to have a voice to speak your mind. So, it's like what I'm thinking about when I see, like he's speaking this way, what I see when he's speaking like this is you're just playing retard games. So you're going to win retard prizes. Like, okay, are we going to be pro censorship or not? Or what are we talking about here? I don't know, man. It's like, and then at that point, it just doesn't matter. Like the conversation when it regards to Asmon, it does not matter.
Yeah, type 1989. So I don't know. I don't think it's different really at all. No, I find it to be completely hypocritical and annoying. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so I think I saw some people who didn't clap. Anyone who didn't clap probably worked at Overwatch, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay. But also, I like that games named
Well, it's accurate that she said worked, considering most of them probably already got fired.
Torment, Vessel of Hatred, and Mouthwashing are all nominated, and surprisingly, the one that messed me up the most is Mouthwashing.
Yeah, of course.
It was a good game.
I don't want to get too graphic. I don't want to spoil anything either, but in that game, you cut off a piece of another character's leg and feed it to him.
You literally just spoil it.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm about to spoil something too because it's crazy.
Whatever.
The same exact thing
Who
happened in
cares?
Lucky Squire.
I didn't see it coming. Such a nice little art style, and I'm just feeding people legs. It's weird. Also, is it me, or is role-playing game of the year one of the most wild categories this year?
Yeah, I mean, literally,
It's
Final
almost
Fantasy
over,
VII
guys.
Rebirth and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth allow you to ride dolphins. So let me repeat
It's almost
that.
over.
2 of the nominated games allow you to ride dolphins.
Thank God. Yeah.
Come on, you can go. It's fine. John Vignacchi knows it's impressive, right, John? Yeah, but thank you very much. But of course, I think we can all agree that's the story in a role-playing game that really gives you porpoise.
That was, yeah.
People laughed
Man,
at
I'll see if I can
that.
Jessica Shobat back. I don't know, man.
I will literally powerbomb you through a table.
Fair enough.
Gosh.
Thank you. Anyways,
Man,
so
they
there is
got-
Helldivers 2 also, which we both love.
Is there a laugh track? Is there a laugh track? I feel like there's a laugh track.
Which is, yeah,
Come on. For Super Earth.
yes. Yes, and Helldivers 2 is nominated for 6 awards tonight, including Game of the Year.
Now, if you're not familiar with Helldivers 2, it's a game in which the Earth could be destroyed if Arrowhead ever uses the PlayStation Network login screen again. Turns out PC gamers really hate that. Who would have thought? All right, we're going to start giving out the awards, but I wanted to give you all one more time to give it up for yourselves, please, everybody.
Whatever.
Wow.
Yes, and please give it up for Noodle House for all the amazing visuals throughout the show that we'll be seeing quite shortly.
Man.
We really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, we may joke about the industry, but we truly love games more than anything.
Even more than family.
Oh. Hey, Jen, if you want to be with a real gamer, let me know. Just saying.
The Force laughing is cringe.
I do. Thank you. But yeah, no, games are an art form that brings people together across the world in a time where we really need it.
And it's because of all of you, the developers, the staff, everyone that we have these games.
You are actually
Wait, he's married?
the lifeblood of this industry, and you are what makes it great.
Oh.
So thank you so much,
Really?
and congratulations.
Let's get on with the show, everybody. It's Dice!
I feel like this guy is like if you took Jack Black and you made him more obnoxious, more virtue signally, and
Autistic?
you remove the charisma aspect, and then he wasn't funny.
Jack Black has not been funny for a long time. He has not had charisma for a very long time. I don't know when that time was, but it's not for a long time now.
Like he's basically like the negative Joker version of Jack Black.
Jack Black is just as bad as this. He's also a crazy leftist. Whatever.
You know, that's pretty much where we're at. And so anyway, Jack White, yeah, I guess so. But no, he's too cool for that. I don't even want to use. Yeah, absolutely not. And he's just Greg. And so this is I don't even know what to say, man. It's. I think this goes and it explains exactly. I see something like this, and every conspiracy theory that I have, and every partially complete but not completely justified bias that I have about games media and about video game, like the people that make video games, I watch this and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it looks like I was right about everything. Like it does.
I mean, it always was. There's all the evidence. I mean, I've covered it on multiple videos. Yeah, I mean, we have the wrong people in the industry, and that's the problem.
Conspiracy. I think that they all have all the same political views. I think that they inject those political views into the games. I think that they have these reductive.
No, and that's why cancel culture existed. They pushed everyone that does not think like this. They pushed them out of the economy. That's what they did. They pushed them out of these industries, movies, video games, television. That's what they did. And that's why everything's now lame and gay and feminist.
And
by the way, pick up my books.
So fucking Luddite views on things like AI, they're extremely unlikable. They're not funny. That's it. I feel so validated. Yeah, I do. I feel massively validated by this. And how long do you think this is going to turn around? Well, I mean, this show really didn't go very well. So if I go and I look at...
Man, I sat here for so long.
Where's the biggest, the most...
Dude, I was here for way longer than I planned, but there's just so much I wanted to say. And now my head's kind of breaking. It's like I'm just running out of things to say. Not actually, but it's just I've said so much that I'm just kind of... I'm tired of the retardation. That's really what it is.
Version of this. So this is, I guess, on IGN. So this is from 2022. We can look at that, 2024. And so let's go ahead and see how people reacted last time. So 2022, people generally liked it. 2024, people generally liked it. And then this one now, this is the new one that just came out, and people actually overall did not like it. So this is what happens when you do this. This is exactly what it is. And you can just look at it right there.
A lot of people who are shills are the only ones that are watching this. The people who do not like this, they ignore it. So now, even their own are turning on themselves. Now, because I don't remember this previously at all, making any air quotes headlines or generating discussion. So because this is generating discussion, you have a lot of people who are not the shills coming in and also leaving the downvotes. So there's a certain portion of the shills, they don't care. And then there's some of the shills, they do care. But then there's a good number of them are people that because of this kind of air quotes controversy, if you want to call it that, just the discussion around this, this is a pretty big deal what just happened here. It's not like it's not big deal in the way, you know, it's not whatever. You know what I mean. It's a big deal just as in like within light of everything we're seeing. It's just another woke catastrophe. That's all this is. It's just the newest one. So because of that, you're getting a lot of new traffic of people that have never watched this before. I did not know about these DICE awards. Never knew about it. First time I knew about it. So there's a bunch of people, this is their first time and they're leaving dislikes and that's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, they hate watched it. Yeah, it has 2 comments. Well, there we go. Greg Miller is the joke. Get it? Yeah. And so, and what's this? You'll get more views in less than half an hour. Yeah, well, I'm just saying like in general. But anyway, this is, it's really sad to see it happen. It really is. But this is what happens when you make a, you know, when you have an industry that's built in a bubble and the bubble is bursting. They're complaining about layoffs and they don't realize that their attitude, their demeanor, and everything about them is the reason why the layoffs are happening. Is because they forgot they were selling to customers. It's sad.
There's
Oh dear God. And that is it. Oh wow, that was it. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, guys, that's it. So, listen, I've already said everything I wanted to say about it, and I'm kind of tired, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I will say this. This just reveals everything that we know about the left. This is just another great expression of what they are. We've seen this how many times now? The left behave this way. This is what they are. This is the way they behave. Now, you know, this is very insulting, as I said earlier, very insulting. And it's offensive for that one reason, because of the fact that these are the people stealing from you American taxpayer dollars, and then they're being paid when they're not even good at their jobs. The executives, they don't belong in their positions. These guys don't belong in their positions. The entire industry is so corrupt right now, and that's all that's insulting or offensive. There's nothing wrong with a comic or comedian or someone that's trying to be funny as a presenter walking up and maybe they're bombing, right? And that's just a part of being a comedian, right? Tons of comedians, they all know you bomb. And either you have a good performance or a bad one, or a good audience or a bad one. Some audiences, they don't like you. Some, they love you. And sometimes you might have a great joke. It's on the wrong audience. It's not going to land. And maybe that means because it's not landing, you're not perfecting it. But then when you run that joke by a good audience, then you can perfect the joke. And you're like, oh, I'm noticing this part is working with them. And then you make the perfect joke that not only is your audience, they love every second and element of it, but now even outside audiences that were kind of lukewarm, now they're like, oh, that was funny. And this is something that many comedians that are professional, they know about this, they understand this. And so it's like, it's fine, you know, being a cringe master and just going all in on it, fine, whatever. But like, this is the thing about the left. They're completely cringe. They're never funny. They're completely politically correct. They're completely cognitively dissonant. They don't live in the real world in any way whatsoever. So then we get something as laughable as this, as cringe as this, as eye rolling and whatever else as this. We get something as terrible as this because this is what leftists are. There's nothing surprising or confusing about this. This is just to be expected. So anyway, man, listen, I do these videos to get out to you guys. Please pick up my books, Charles Arlington, on Amazon. The link is in the description. Check it out. If you are fed up with wokeness in media and our storytelling, then pick up my stuff. This is the best stuff that's out there. You will never pick up a story like what I have crafted for you. I have a lot that's coming out soon, but regardless, I have seriously gone out of my way to make sure that I provide to you quality. And I only write for you guys. That's why I do this channel, is to get out to you guys. And it means a whole lot to me when you guys pick up my stuff. And do not forget this. A lot of my haters right now, a bunch of leftists and feminists and gays, they're leaving me a bunch of review bombs on my books. So guys, listen, like I literally did this for you. It would mean a whole lot if you guys would actually pick up my stuff. Leave me your thoughts. You are the audience I made my crap for. I don't know why these haters are coming after my stuff. Why are they wasting the time? Don't know. But yes, they are review bombing me right now. But and my stuff is really good. So do not skip out on my crap. You will not regret it. This is literally the next generation of great storytelling is my stuff. So, and yes, I have a lot of leftists. They're not reading my books. They're just literally trashing on me. So it's weird and frustrating at the same time. But it would mean a whole lot. Anyways, guys, that is the end here. And at the end, you can check out in wherever on the screen, you can check out the playlist and see the rest of my videos covering gaming topic videos.